It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Thursday, the 22nd of May. I'm Michael Groff. It's a rather hot one out there today. Temperatures about 5 to 10 degrees above seasonal averages. Slightly lower daytime highs expected tomorrow and especially on Saturday, where we might not even make 100 degrees. But then temps will rebound just a little bit thereafter with very little daytime fluctuation in our afternoon temps through most of the rest of the forecast period. Any signs of any big pattern changes out there? Any rain chances to talk about? Oh, you know, we will talk about it, despite the fact that I think you already know the answer. But just humor me. Let's figure it out. We'll dive in and discuss. First, the almanac from yesterday. 102 degrees the afternoon high. 71 was the morning low. 96 and 71 are the averages for this time of year. Looking outside right now at 12:30 p.m., we've got mostly sunny sky, and we're at 96 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points 25, humidity 8%. It's a calm wind, and the barometer is steady. Temperatures out there right now, 90s. In fact, we're poking above 100 degrees in a few spots like Sun City. Up in North Scottsdale, I see a 103. We've got 100 at Goodyear Airport, 103 in Tolleson. So yeah, needless to say, it's already hot out there. Daytime highs this afternoon, about 102 to 106 in most locations. Satellite picture out here across the west. Why is it so hot? Well, again, high pressure is in control. A generally westerly flow is around, and so for the most part, cloudless skies, and with high pressure sitting right on top of us, that's going to just result in heat. And that low humidity, those dry surfaces, that just allows the sun to heat the ground, which very efficiently heats the air, and that's going to be the story today, tomorrow. Might see a few clouds come into the mix on Saturday and Sunday, and that should lower temps slightly. But still, above average temperatures should continue. Here's the watch warning map. There's a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for parts of North Texas, southeast Oklahoma, and to the north and east of there, we've also got some flood watches for eastern, northeast Oklahoma and parts of southwest Missouri, some of the adjacent areas. So places like Tulsa and up toward Joplin, Missouri could be kind of active weather-wise today. Otherwise, across the country, things are relatively quiet. Convective outlook for today, as mentioned, we've got that enhanced risk of severe storms. Level 3 out of 5 around Fort Worth and Arlington, Texas. The broader severe weather risk across much of Texas and then into the Arklatex region, and a few spots across the country, including the Florida Peninsula and a small little sliver of the Middle Atlantic. Right there around Virginia Beach might see a severe storm, at least a very low-end threat. The tropics in the East Pacific, we've talked about this for the last couple of days, or few days really, and the National Hurricane Center has given about a coin flip chance now, 50% chance over the next 7 days of a tropical cyclone developing out there in the East Pacific off the Mexican coast. Now, of course, we always watch these systems when they develop because they could have an implication on our weather. It is not expected that this will have any meaningful impact for us, but of course, what do we do here? We watch all of that stuff because, well, we're weather geeks. I mean, I'm a weather geek. You're a weather geek if you're watching this. That's just the way it is. So we'll keep an eye on things down there nonetheless. Plus, it's always interesting to talk about tropical activity before the official start of hurricane season, which is, of course, June 1st. So we're not that far off. We're not that far ahead of schedule. All right, the precipitation outlook. This is valid through Thursday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing statewide, basically nothing region-wide. Well, you go into New Mexico, there could be some rain, but around here, things are expected to be relatively quiet. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not a little bit of forecast uncertainty to talk about, and we'll do just that, as we so often do here on these videos. Let's do it right now. Figure it out. Check out the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. The GFS, the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, trough for the east. Ridge is building out here in the west. Westerly flow around here for us right now. What it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today. What you see is what you get. Sunny, hot. Yeah, highs 102 to 106. And that's roughly 5 to 10 degrees above where we ought to be for this time of year. For tonight, skies should be clear, lows mid-60s in the cool spots, low to mid-70s for the urban core. And then tomorrow, sunny and not much change in temperature. We might see highs backing off a couple of degrees, around 100 to 104. On Saturday, a few clouds around, and the heights come down just a little bit. There's still evidence that we're going to see a couple of these areas of low pressure that are going to traverse the region, mainly to the north of us, and knock the upper heights down just enough to have an impact on temperature. So we'll go with about 95 to 99 on Saturday. Sunday, upper 90s to around 101 or so. And again, weak low pressure is shown to at some point develop off to the west of us. In fact, the GFS is starting to buy into a closed low solution developing out to our west as we go into next week. Here's Monday, Memorial Day. And, look, it's going to be hot. Not record breaking. The hottest Memorial Day on record, 114 degrees. Fortunately, we will not be anywhere close to that. But still, I'd say upper 90s to about 102, give or take. And dry conditions to continue. Again, just a few high clouds around Tuesday, partly sunny, high temperatures. Again, upper 90s to about 102, somewhere in that range. Wednesday, it's pretty much the same story. An upper low is shown to be kind of closing off and sitting to our west. And that's an interesting feature. It probably doesn't portend any really meaningful weather impacts on us. We could see some afternoon breezes. We often do this time of the year, whether or not there's low pressure to the west of us or not. But please note that we will see some gusty winds possible over the weekend and early next week out there, especially over Southern California. So if you're traveling west, particularly on I-8 or even I-10, the Imperial Valley and northward, you could catch some gusty winds out there. That is pretty typical this time of year. All right, a week from today. This is Thursday, the 29th. Yeah, the GFS has an upper low that's sitting off of Southern California, northern Baja. Now, you know how I feel about closed low solutions and talking about those a week out. Yeah, not a real big fan of that. The old saying, a closed low is a weatherman's woe. Nevertheless, there is some model support that suggests that this could happen. And if it does, yes, we may see some increase in clouds. I just don't think that's going to have any implications in terms of precipitation chances across the region. Now, you might say, but wait a minute, Mike. You did show the graphic about the National Hurricane Center forecasting the development of a tropical cyclone potentially out there over the next 7 days, out around the just off the coast of southwest Mexico. And yes, that does look like it may still happen. And if that upper low is sitting there, I don't think that system is going to get close enough for a low of that magnitude to really bring in any significant moisture. Are we going to watch it? Of course we are. We'll keep an eye on things, but right now does not look like it. This is Friday, the 30th. Again, an upper low is sitting to the west of us. Look at that big ridge, though, nosing up in western Canada. I mean, it's going to be warm and it's going to be dry across much of the western United States. Now, off the screen to the south, down there south and east of the Baja, there is a potential tropical cyclone that the GFS has. The European has been showing that, and it's been picked up by a few of the ensemble members as well. So, again, something to watch, but nothing worth really getting too excited about here. If this solution verifies, temperatures would still be a couple of degrees either side of 100 around here next week, late next week. Here's the end of the forecast period. Saturday, the 31st. And again, that upper low is sitting to the west of us. Looks almost like a Rex block pattern here, and obviously well above average temperatures for the Pacific Northwest, the Intermountain West, from Idaho southward through the Great Basin, the Rockies, and in the Southwest. Temperatures above average in that setup. And with that upper low, there could be some clouds here, but that's about it, sensible weather-wise, and of course, breezy conditions at times. All right, let's look at rainfall for Phoenix. This is off the GFS Ensemble out through the 5th of June, and, well, the ensemble mean basically nothing. So any hopes that you might have that A tropical cyclone down there off the coast of Mexico is just going to magically and wonderfully bring moisture up here. Unfortunately, probably not. European ensemble, pretty much the same story. You got 51 members in this ensemble, and 5 of them show any rainfall, so we're not worried about that. Temperatures off the national blend of models, we'll lower them slightly as we go to Saturday. It's got a high of 99, maybe on Sunday as well. We'll see. But overall, you get the idea here. Just very ever so slightly above average temperatures, but nothing that is at all resembling anything absolutely insanely hot or crazy for this time of year. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here, you want to help us out, support the channel, of course you do, then click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Or you can make a monetary contribution to us via PayPal. GroffShow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's GROFF show@gmail.com for PayPal. Also, our Venmo is linked up down there in the description as well. All right, the executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. I get choked up just talking about her. Anyway, I want you to check out our blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, possibly Adriana related. It is all linked up down there in the description, sweetchildaz.com.org. Yeah, go there. Great informational website. But you know what else is a great place to go? Our streaming station. It's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music, have a lot of fun over there. Give it a look, give it a listen. You won't regret it. And another shout out to my buddy Dan over there at the Courtroom Files. Yeah, he runs a great channel, and I want you to check it out. He's shouted out to us, and he's been real nice. And we picked up some subscribers. I mean, I can't directly link them to his channel, but he mentioned us, and we got a little spike in subscribers last week. So, again, thanks to Dan, local guy, runs a channel called The Courtroom Files. Very different from what we do, but, in a way, not so much. He's a content creator, started out a lot more recently than we did, and has a lot more subscribers than we do. It's not quite as niche a content. I mean, courtroom stuff, true crime stuff. Again, his is just live courtroom stuff, but that all that stuff, that genre, very, very, very popular right now. We do Phoenix, Arizona weather, and while this is a metro area of 5 million people, it's still very niche content. One day maybe we won't be, or maybe we'll expand out and we'll do some other stuff too. So, but there's going to be some changes that are coming here to the channel in the coming months. We've been talking about this for a while, and so there will be. Don't worry about that. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support, whether you just watch us every day, whether you share these videos, whether you donate to us, anything and everything that you guys do, it is so greatly appreciated. Could not do this without you guys. So thank you once again. Please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there. I don't want to read about any more people that are, succumbing to heat exhaustion or heat stroke or dying out there on our trails, up on the mountains. And certainly not in the swimming pools either. Watch those children around water. And you guys have yourselves a terrific rest of your Thursday. if you stuck around for this little bonus ending to this video, the music that plays at the end of this, when we run the forecast at the end, hadn't played for the last couple of days. And I got a question in the email. Somebody asked me, well, Mike, how do you not know that the music's not playing? Because I hear it in my headphones. See, we have kind of a complex setup, and I won't get too in the weeds about it, but just because I hear it doesn't mean the source, doesn't mean that OBS Studio that I use to record this, doesn't mean that it hears it. So that's why we've had that the last couple of days. But I think it worked. Hopefully it did. And since this is bonus stuff, and I'm sure nobody is here watching this, I could pretty much say or do whatever I want. I can even get up and dance right now, and no one is going to know about it. I know it's embarrassing, but there you go. That's my rain dance. I was just doing a rain dance in here. All right. Thank you, and have yourselves a great rest of your Thursday.